So, Mr. Silver, tell me what's on your mind.
Well, one, what are you doing in my room?
I think you invited me.
All right, memory. That's important.
We just barely got back from the Season 5 premiere and the roaring crowd that came with it, and quite frankly, it was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was immense fun. A good way to start Season 5 with an entire room, standing room only, of bronies.
Thankfully, we had some people get in line really, really early this morning. I think it was 6:30, and we finally got into the room at a little after 9. That's how long people were waiting, and the line stretched way around the hall and even outside. So, yeah, very lucky that we got even a seat.
Very lucky, but all of it comes to fruition because we get to see a really solid season opener.
Yeah.
I think so. So why don't we start off with just the premise?
Well, the basic story is that after Season 4, and Twilight has her new castle, and she's wondering what to do with it, and suddenly a map pops up out of the floor. Now, I believe you and I watched the animatics for that many months ago, so we've been preparing to see this, but I have to say, with the animation, it actually turned out to be a little better than expected, at least as far as my opinion, because they did different angles and little things in a different order, and yeah, it makes a real difference that way, I suppose.
Oh, hello. And, but everyone still roared when Pinkie Pie was saying, "Hi, Mom! Hi, Dad!" And Spike crushes her home. I mean, especially in the first half, Pinkie excelled at humor after a season where I think everyone was kind of worried her jokes were becoming very forced. This one, it's that classic thing of she is reacting to the situation in her own unique way, not just saying, "Hey, look at me, I'm so goofy." Case in point, when they finally do go on their journey and Pinkie Pie conducts reconnaissance.
Yes.
Metal Gear Pinkie for the win.
Right. And actually having trouble lifting rocks that she's hiding under. I thought that was pretty funny. She also happened to be the first among the main 6 to notice that something's wrong, and throughout the entire first episode, she has this look on her face, and every time one of the other main 6 starts to think that maybe there's something nice about it, she has to stare them down. So, yeah, I love how they portrayed Pinkie's character in this season opener, and quite frankly, I think they gave a lot more attention to Fluttershy in this two-parter than I had been expecting, too. I mean, what was it, during the second half that they gave her the idea of how everyone could break out and figure out what's really going on kind of thing?
Yeah, I gotta admit, I was cringing a little in the first half because I thought, oh, the Fluttershy detractors are going to harp on this for a pretty solid while. She is of the main 6, she is the one most eager to accept that all these ponies are being nice in this town that had really creepy expressions.
Oh, yeah, they did fantastic work on all of those extra ponies. The stares. I can only imagine the kind of memes that are going to pop up from all those stares throughout the entire season opener.
The audience cringed at all the right moments. There was an entire room of people going, "Oh!" And sometimes from our own heroine's expressions as well. But it's funny, Lord Tyrek and Chrysalis, none of them invoke the same terror as those smiling ponies.
Well, quite frankly, I love the fact that this episode was not about a big bombastic villain like so many other season opener and season finales are, where there's this epic quest to save an entire nation kind of thing against this super magical baddie. This was pretty much just one villain who was much more on the same level as everyone else, but she was bringing everyone else down below her, and she was leading through charisma and ideals and not through some magical force, at least up until a certain point, because I have to believe that every pony in that village chose to give up their cutie marks until the main 6 showed up. That's what I believe, at least.
And a lot of people online have asked, why did we make all these communism jokes? It's not just the equal cutie marks. I need to do a little research between Marxism and cutie and communism. Cutieism. Yeah. There's a thing. The comrade, the way of the cutieism. Yeah. But basically, the theme of this town, which is completely unremarkable and Rarity may have had an even better reaction than Pinkie Pie upon seeing their clothing.
Of course.
The theme is that no one excels at anything, so everything is pretty much awful, but it is forced equality, it is forced harmony. You make it, everyone on the surface might be smiling, but deep down they're afraid of being discovered for what are, in other words, thought crimes. We have an equestrian Orwellian society.
Oh, wow. That scene when you start seeing they're locked in a room after their cutie marks have been taken away, and they have a loudspeaker in the room constantly saying the same things over and over. Being better than other ponies is failing. I think that was part of the line. I'm probably botching it a little bit, but wow, when I was watching that, I couldn't believe that they were putting in authentic brainwashing techniques into MLP. And it changes how I saw the villain, because she was so manipulative in a very different way than any other villain we've seen thus far. Now, in the case of Discord, he was able to manipulate each of the main 6 in the Season 2 premiere, and that was really fun to watch. Seeing Starlight Glimmer do this, it was a whole new level of creepy and just unsettling feeling while we were going through every step of what she's doing to all these different ponies, and just wow, I've never had that kind of feeling with any of the other season openers or season finales before.
And I myself have to throw out my two-parter Mad Lib, because that did not apply in this case. Twilight was uncertain about her castle and feeling a little hesitant about her purpose. But then the villain never really had a moment of arrogance. I said earlier I was worried Fluttershy detractors would have nothing but ammunition, but then second part, they wisely used Fluttershy to set up an escape route. And then, we all cringed when Starlight Glimmer said, "Fluttershy, just to show you're on our side."
Oh, wow.
Who told you?
Oh. I felt like I was watching one of those concentration camp war films from decades ago, when I saw Starlight Glimmer trying to get Fluttershy to point out who the detractors are, and just, again, that really surprised me, and they pulled it off so well, because I thought for sure that Fluttershy would have to make this really, really hard choice, but they ended up making it far better for the story when some other pony gives himself up, because Fluttershy would never be able to make that decision, I don't think, and yeah, they handle it rather nicely.
And that goes to the heart of the things. My biggest complaint with Twilight's Kingdom was that it was all about the main 6 saving Equestria. You had the royal family on hand, you had all these guard ponies. Everyone was being struck down just so they could make room for the main 6 to save the day. Here, the main 6 get the ball rolling on salvation through cleverness and no deus ex machina. They just their own intelligence, even with equal signs weighing down their talent. But then, when it's time for the grand chase and to save their cutie marks, they have to rely on 4 other ponies who get this great chance to shine, who get to demonstrate these marvelous talents, especially the balloon artist who makes binoculars at a bridge.
Pinkie Pie puts the binoculars up to her eyes, and you can see the little knobs at the end of the balloons moving with them. I thought that was fantastic.
So for the first time, they're not even second-tier ponies. They're pretty much third-tier.
Yeah, but I'm sure the fandom is going to be making all sorts of fan art of these characters. Give it only a couple of days. It's going to happen.
I'm giving it a few hours, because I love this aspect of the opening, that other ponies help. They don't have to take over. They don't have to save the main 6 and win the day, but they helped save the day and contributed to the story, and that's all I ask. This is a world. It's more than 6 characters. Let these folks, these ponies, have a chance to shine. But at the very end, Starlight Glimmer slips into a cave, and, well, they're all kind of like, we'll never find her. Okay. You could try going in for like half a sec to see, but but the hope now is that Starlight will reemerge and either assist, probably I'm guessing at season's end.
It could be at season's end, but the way she was talking about cutie marks throughout the story, particularly when she singled out Twilight's cutie mark, I'm betting that there's much more behind the scenes that we haven't seen yet, that she is going to be more of a recurring villain, and that she's going to be much more of a threat next time around. And quite frankly, I'm glad to see that kind of scaling up of a threat, that you start out a little small, because this feels a lot smaller in scale than most other season premieres or season finales. There's much less of a world-breaking dangerous force here. But I'm hoping that it's going to slowly build up over time. Don't bring her in just right at the end, I hope. I hope that there's going to be a couple of other episodes where she's at least mentioned or seen in the background, and you can tell that it's building up to something, and then it'll be a big surprise at the end. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, she might be the precursor to an even bigger bad, but we also don't really know her mentality. She claims that she's building a true harmony society where everyone's equal, and justifies that she needs her mark only so she can work her magic. In reality, maybe she's even lying to herself, the belief that, oh, I'm doing this great thing, but deep down her ambition is undermining even her own high-minded ideal.
Yes. I'm glad that they didn't show all of her motivations in this first set of episodes, because now the fandom can come up with all kinds of wild headcanons and theories, and quite frankly, you and I have a lot of fun with that. Oh, yeah. And I know that it's going to help build towards her next reappearance, and please let her be coming back later on. Don't leave it just like this. But over time, I hope that we learn more about her motivations and her past and why she is the way she is, because she seems dead set that this is the only way to live life. This is the only way that it should work. Maybe she was deeply hurt by something or someone in the past. We'll see. But headcanons will come.
Headcanons will come. But one thing to compare, surprisingly, to Rainbow Rocks is she is the opposite of the Sirens. In that first musical scene, the Sirens were singing, "You and me, we don't have to be one and the same." They love to play up the idea that we're not equal or harmonious. They sow dissent by focusing on differences. Here, we've got a villain who wants to force everyone to be the same to the exclusion of any unique traits. And Twilight and Company are that middle point. They're the point that says, yes, we're different. That doesn't put us at odds. Beyond the occasional spat, we're still celebrating what's unique about each of us and contributing to a greater whole. So it's kind of fun to have two villain sets that represent opposite extremes and showing that unhealthy mentality.
Very much so. I do like the animation that they're coming up with in the season premiere. It wasn't as much of a jump from season 3 to season 4, I think, at least not yet, but I can tell they are still improving and they're still trying new things. I mean, even with the train, I could tell that they were trying something new with the train coming all the way to the screen, but it's still a very toy train advertisement all the way through, but at least they're trying new things with it. And even with the animations of pulling the cutie marks off of the main 6, I could tell they were doing something new there too. And yeah, I want to see even more from you guys, DHX. I think you're doing great work, and I'm looking forward to the rest of season 5 for sure.
As am I. This was a fun time. The train was funny because that thing stops on a dime. We need that kind of tech. We've gone this whole review without talking about Spike, because surprisingly, for introducing this new element of Twilight's castle, the castle was in it for all of 3 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
But I actually like the reason they had for Spike not going on this trip. I'm sorry he doesn't get to take part in the adventure, but one, he doesn't have a cutie mark to lose, so that's a wrinkle. And two, he's hanging out with Big Macintosh. They actually give him a reason and a social life.
Yeah. He wants to discuss hoofball stats, was it? Yeah. Oh, goodness. There was also a new song in the first episode. And as it started out, I don't know why, I was just suddenly reminded of This Is Halloween, like introducing the town and even the background beats. I know that there's a lot of differences between the two pieces, but that's what it reminded me of when I was watching that, and everybody's coming together and marching in time, or at least Starlight Glimmer is making sure everybody's marching in time. And it reminded me a little bit of This Is Halloween, even though there's still many, many differences in style.
I can't say I was thinking of any particular song. I was mostly focusing on how she braids everyone's hair and makes sure they're dancing in step. She She's her own secret police, basically. This is another reason why we make the communism jokes. To enforce this harmony, you've got to be watching people 24/7. I'm just trying to think. I'm not really musically inclined, so I just went along for the ride. I can't say it's not even a song that really stuck in my memory, although the acoustics in the theater, while very good, we did hear most of the episode. We also were distracted by someone popping a balloon at the very end.
Oh, yeah.
I thought someone had knocked over equipment or that Equestria had suffered a horrible attack.
Yeah. It had a very good marching beat to it. I used to be in a marching band way back when I was in the first year of high school. And yeah, there's parts of it that remind me of that, especially as everybody is marching in time and in formation. And even from above, you can see the formations going all around. So in that respect, yes, I can enjoy the fact that they're trying out a bit of a new style, something that we haven't really heard before. But I think I can agree that it's not as memorable as so many other songs we've come across. I mean, right before the season 5 premiere, everybody in the audience was singing Smile, Smile, Smile.
It was glorious.
No one's ever going to forget a song like Smile, Smile, Smile. And that got the entire town involved, and that got so big and bombastic at the end. It's just really, really fun. I've only heard this new song the once, so I can't say how long it's going to last. It just doesn't have that same grand feel to it. But maybe it wasn't meant to. We'll see.
It'd be tragic if the best song of the season was at the premiere. Else we got nothing. Well, we've got songs to look forward to, but not the song.
Yeah.
No, that comes later. I will say I'm a bit of an odd fan in that the season premiere and ending really aren't my bread and butter. Mm-hmm. I just like the slice of life stuff. Now, the map adds an interesting element. It told all 6 they need to go there, but down the line it might say, okay, we just need Rarity over here, or Rarity, you go here, Applejack, you're here, Fluttershy, and Rainbow Dash, you're over here. Mm-hmm. You could have an episode where they're sent off and Twilight is wondering, well, what am I supposed to do? Or it might be individual adventures. We may see more travel from our heroines, or we might see them live their daily lives until a crisis emerges. I will say turning your cutie mark into a pager is odd.
A little bit odd, but this opens up a lot of new possibilities for future adventures across the world of Equestria. And quite frankly, I'm hoping they're going to visit some way far off lands. Let's see some griffins. Let's see some zebras. Let's see some saddle Arabians. Let's see all kinds of different new creatures and even new nations. It feels like the world is opening up a little bit more with how far they can travel and how much bigger the map is getting. And every new season, I hope they keep expanding it a little bit more. But we'll see.
And also, they're going to have to expand those train lines.
Yes, of course.
Got to work on that. But all in all, I consider it a very strong start to the season. Looking forward to the return to the episodic slice of life with maybe an adventure story. And we'll see how this unfolds. They've laid the foundation. The cautiously optimistic, I think, is the best description.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for having me here, Silver. It's been a lot of fun here at Babscon with all the different reviewers, and first time I've ever done a first impressions video right after season premiere. So I'm going to have to get some practice with that. But as per usual, I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from each of you on what you thought of the premiere and what your favorite moments were and any little nitpicks you might have had, and hope that they might do better next time.
And I'm Silver-Quill. Thanks for a fun convention, and thanks for watching.